Emotional infidelity. What exactly is it, and what can you do about it? My next guest is an investigator and the author of Ultimate Betrayal, and today we're going to discuss when a fantasy becomes actually a real threat to a relationship. Please welcome Danine Manette. Hi, Danine. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Now, give me an example. What is emotional infidelity?
Emotional infidelity is a crush, but it's kind of a two-way thing. It's when you find that you're more interested in what's going on with your coworker. You find that you're taking vegetables over to your neighbor's house a little more often. You're more interested in what's going on at the community meeting because there's someone there that you're interested in. But it's a two-way thing as opposed to just you having this emotional feeling and this feeling of having a crush on someone. It's also reciprocated, yes.
Okay. Well, is it just as harmful as like something physical, like a physical affair?
Well, a physical affair is something that you know you're in immediately because it's physical.
Okay.
But an emotional affair is harmful because you don't really know that you're in one until you're deep in the throes of one. You don't really recognize that you are so interested in this person, or that this is impacting your relationship at home, or that this is something that you're so invested in until you're caught up in it. So it can be very, very destructive in that respect because it festers for quite some time before you even recognize that you're in it.
How can it affect the relationship that you're in, like with your husband or your spouse?
Because you tend to check out, just like Jennifer Aniston said about Brad Pitt after he finished making the movie with Angelina Jolie, that he kind of checked out of the relationship at home. You find that you're far more interested in what's going on with the person at your job, or you're more interested in what they're doing. You're finding that you're spending more time thinking about them than you are thinking about your spouse or partner.
What are the signs that possibly maybe your spouse is having an emotional affair?
The signs that your spouse is having an emotional affair is that they seem to be spending far more time with this other person or in this other situation where this person is. They seem to have, once again, checked out of the relationship at home. The name of this other person comes up. Maybe they're even comparing you to them. Maybe this other woman has longer hair and your husband is saying, you know, maybe you should grow your hair out. You start to really kind of tell that this person is in your spouse's life. And if you're the person that's having the emotional affair, you start to realize that what you're wearing in the morning, you're more interested in how your coworker is going to feel about what you have on than your spouse. You're more interested in going to work or going to church or to the board meeting than you are interested in coming home to your husband and or your partner.
So if this is happening in a relationship, what can the couple do to just save their marriage?
Usually it comes when there's a breakdown in communication. When your spouse is coming home from work all day and has something maybe important to tell you, and you're so busy talking about what happened with the kids all day, then they feel like you're not listening to them. And you should never put yourself in a position where your spouse or your partner feels that someone else in this world is more interested in listening to what they have to say than you do. Couples need to take time. They need to take time every single day, whether it's 20 minutes on the phone, whether it's a walk around the block like my parents used to do. They need to take time to reconnect emotionally. You need to always know what's going on in your spouse's life, what's going on at work, and take interest in what interests them so that they won't find somebody else who's interested in it.
Okay, that's a way to prevent emotional infidelity in a relationship. Let's say it's already occurring. How can you repair that, or, you know, repair the marriage?
Well, a lot of times, because people don't realize that they're in one until it's already going on. If you suspect that maybe your husband is having an emotional affair with someone that they're in contact with, then maybe you could bring it to their attention, because your husband may not know that he's emotionally involved with someone else. Men are not as in touch with their emotions as women are, so we kind of sense things a little earlier on. So it's a good conversation to sit down and have. You know, I've noticed that you've been spending far more time at the gym with Sue, or far more time doing this, you know, with this person than you are here. And if you are the person yourself that's involved in that emotional affair, you've got to cut ties. You've got to limit all contact, or as much contact as possible, with that person, because otherwise it will continue to fester, it will continue to grow, and before you know it, it will become to a magnitude and to a point that it's now out of control and it is threatening your life at home.
So both sides have to, like, come to the table and make the effort.
Absolutely,
and how could this affect kids in the picture?
Well, because children pick up on things that are going on at home. They know when mom and dad aren't communicating. They see that mom's got her activities and dad has his activities, and they can feel the distance. When there's disharmony in the home and when the couple is not communicating, when there's not that feeling of oneness and togetherness and family activities, children pick up on that, and it can be very detrimental.
Are more women involved in emotional infidelity or men?
Well, it takes two, because it's a crush that works both ways. However, men are usually not, they don't usually notice that they're involved in an emotional affair as early as women do, because, as previously stated, we're more in touch with our emotional being. We're more in touch with our feelings and our emotional selves, so we usually know a little earlier.
Okay. Danine, Manette, thank you so much for coming in. The book is Ultimate Betrayal. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll see you folks tomorrow. On The View from the Bay,
we've got style.
Tomorrow, the top hairstyles you'll be asking for this fall. See which picks made the cut.
Great guest. Good times. She is so giddy over this guy. And of course, good food.
The View from the Bay, tomorrow.